Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go run and hide. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lie you tried to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there were
And welcome back, everyone, to Nerd TV for another Global Sim Racing Truck Series race. This time, we're under the lights for once at the simulated Lucas Oil Raceway Park, IRP, OR, whatever you want to call it. We're here in Indianapolis, just outside the big 2.5 mile facility. Weather on the track right now, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 50% humidity, clear skies, which you can validate that over the trees there and above the grandstands, and 3-mile-an-hour winds, so nothing to deal with on that nature here this evening. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Deadbeat from working so hard this weekend, Jay Swifty, and to my right-hand side, Ballistic, or Dustin Loxton, however you go by him. Dustin, how's it going?
Hey, we're back here. Short track racing. It's been a hot minute since we have actually called a race event here at what some of us old timers call IRP, because that's what it's always been known for us as Indianapolis Raceway Park. But now it's Lucas Oil Raceway at IRP, whatever you want to call it. But same track, same racing that you're going to get. Short track racing, tight racing. And what a fitting name, Hard Braking 200, because yes, you are going to have to brake going in the corners.
No way.
So, yeah, typical short track racing here. This track can be difficult, Jeremy. Most of the time, single groove racing. You can get that second groove going, but it gets very tough, especially on corner exit. Those walls tend to creep up on whoever's on that high side coming off. You're going to see some pancaking, not like the Pocono pancakes from last week. I wouldn't expect, but you're going to see some pancaking on that one there. So passing is going to be very tough. You're going to have to time it right. You're going to have to be very precise. You're going to have to watch those break points. I mean, that's just the way that it goes. So I'm looking for some good racing tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, pancaking between Tuesdays and Sundays have been kind of like the theme recently, and I was not a part of last Sunday's broadcast. Heard he did a hell of a job doing it solo, but I'm back in here.
Well, that's up for debate, but yeah, we'll go with that.
If you put it in the comparison to just one person, he did all right. He did all right.
It was fun.
Before.
It was fun.
It was trashed at first, but it was good. But we have a little bit of fun tonight. There's only 15 drivers, and just lack of attendance, or there's some team shifting around. You counted 17, I counted 15. It's somewhere in that mix in there. It's under 20, that's for sure. But yeah, a couple. There's one driver tonight, Brody Marinko, joining One of One Motorsports out of Ghost Motorsports camp. So that's something to look out for that driver in the 54. And 200 laps here. Gonna have a really quick, solid race. Dustin, only 15 trucks, right? So there's going to be some kind of chaos. It's not going to be super chaotic, I don't believe. And these turns, the corner exits, are going to be crazy to look out for. Flat exit, they're trying to roll through as best as they can. Then you need the truck to rotate, but when you get to the straightaway, it just weight shifts, and it's very easy to spin off a turn 4 especially. So something to look out for. But it is qualifying time, so the Martin Sports pre-race show is done. And we're going to get our cameras off your guys' screens. We're going to turn to the fastest practice driver this evening. And what did you know, Dustin? It is the number 65 of Chad McGinley. Would you have ever guessed that?
I would have never guessed that it was going to be the 65 of Chad McGinley, but hands off to Brody Marinko, too. Put up the second fastest time, joining his new team over there at One of One. So definitely off to a good start. We'll have to see where he can't post up. Like you were saying, Jeremy, these corner exits are going to be tough. Very flat. You roll on the throttle, the tires tend to break loose, especially with the weight shifting. Very reminiscent of coming off of turn 4 at Bristol, and turn 2, that weight shifting going from the bank to flat. A lot of times these trucks don't like it. Change for tonight, these drivers actually have an extra set of tires behind the wall. So typically, these drivers will start with 4 sets. So that is 1 set on the truck, 3 sets behind the wall. Tonight, they actually get to start with 5 sets. That's 1 set on the truck and 4 sets behind the wall, because it is a short track. Just to give the drivers a little extra time, especially if there's spins that is going on here. You tend to flat spot these tires quite a bit, but right now Chad McGinley posted up on P3. Brad Miner holds the top spot. until McGinley just passed 21.63. McGinley at the top. And his Grim Reaper Motorsport teammate Bobby Mantle, 21.66. P2 on the board right now. Brad Miner falls back to your third position, Jeremy.
Look at Bradley Miner. I keep giving him credit each and every single week. And look at him, P3 right now on the board with a 770. Awesome job from the 46 in this qualifying session. Seeing Nick Boyd file in. He's going to start 5th place so far out of the 9 drivers who have posted time. Got quite a few left to see who can actually get there. Yeah, we see on board. I think this is now the new one-of-one motorsports driver.
It
Let's
is.
see what he can do here.
And
Through turns 1 and 2, utilizing the top of the track. He's going to diamond back, which is very common. You want to go up to the top, and you can straighten out these exits, Dustin, by driving it from the top down to the bottom and getting that straight launch off.
yeah, and that also helps with the exit and the looseness of rolling back on the throttle, and that's going to put him P3. He's going to knock his one-of-one motorsports teammate of Joshua Slade down to P4. But again, solid showing for that 54 team out there tonight. I believe the 95 of Jason Schilling is just entering the track surface now to go and take his qualifying laps. He's got about 2 minutes, just a little over 2 minutes remaining in the qualifying session to pull his 2 circuits around this track, so still plenty of time, Jeremy.
Yeah, Austin McGill just finished his second lap time, 21.7 P6 for that number 99. Jason Schilling is the only driver on the track here with just under 2 minutes left in this qualifying session. Loose for Jason in turn 2. Not going to have a strong lap for his first one, but we're going to see what kind of line. He takes the inside approach, kind of curious to see what that call is. Still loose off of 4. He's not going to be faster on the second lap.
No, he definitely battling an ill-handling truck. You see wicked loose air. He's got the bobble. He has to chase it up the track, collects it back up. No contact. But yeah, definitely struggling. They got a little bit of work left on this 95 machine right now to get that thing dialed in. But Jeremy, could also be that this truck might actually tighten up a little bit on the longer runs. Again, the open setup. Sometimes these drivers set it up for the longer runs, and we've seen short tracks go very, very, very long on runs before. So having that long run set up might not be a bad call.
Yeah, it would not surprise me. I haven't checked the fuel stats yet, but if these drivers can hit 100 laps on a fuel tank, they can pit one time. That's if they go green the entire way, which short track racing, of course, you can never count on that. But, the opportunity is there when you only have 17 drivers, which looks like you were the correct one there. 17 in the session, 12 have posted time, 5 have not. We have a half of a minute left. Steven Smith in the 41 looks like he is on track here. Going to try to complete his first lap. And it looks like he's going to have enough time to get a lap in here. Actually, this will be his first time around the track. 16 seconds left in the session. He might or might not make it here.
It's going to be close. I don't think he's going to make it, Jeremy. He's got about 8 seconds left. It's going to be close, though. He's not going to make it. He's got 3 seconds, and he's still got to come off 4. So, unfortunately, he is going to be cut short, and there it is, right on turn 4 exit. Yeetus deletus for the 41 of Steven Smith.
There you go. That's it. 12 posted time, 5 did not. And the hard braking 200 is about to get underway. These guys are going to start gridding on pit road. It is short track, so we're going to take 2 pace laps around this just over half-mile facility, or just under a half-mile, rather. And we got the free-floating cam back, of course, so here we go. We're going to walk down the grid order on pit road. Chad McGinley, P1, Bobby Mantle, P2. Row number 2 is going to be Brody Marinko in 3rd, Joshua Slade in 4th. Row number 3, we'll find Bradley Miner in 5th, Austin McGill in 6th. Row number 4 will be Stephen Knight in 7th and Nick Boyd in 8th. Row number 5 will be Danny White in 9th place. Anthony Remrick will be the last person in the top 10 starting lineup. 11th through 17th, you'll find Jason Schilling, Ron Harrington, Clayton White, Abram Ghostin, John Howard, Shane Wielden, and Steven Smith. That is 17 on the board. And you said they got an extra set of tires. Use them as your disposal. Hopefully they don't have to. That means we're going to see more green flag than we will yellow flag. That's what we're hoping for here. And Dustin. It's been a short track, little hiatus for a minute here on the broadcast side, so I'm finally glad to see this back in action. But I don't want to jump early, but it's next week. Daytona, baby.
Yep. It's going from a short track this week to an ever ever monster known as a plate track or super speedway, as some may call those. It's that's one thing I do love about these schedules, is because you can go from a monster of a track to the next track being a road course to the next track being a short track, then back to a monster track. The versatility of these drivers, Jeremy, is comparable to none. I mean, they have to have a wide range of skill sets in order to compete on this, because these tracks change so drastically week in and week out.
Yeah, absolutely can here. We see the 2 yellow spoilers up front. Second row is both black spoilers, 1-of-1 Motorsports. It's a little team action going on. 2 versus 2 to start this thing off. Pace truck is expected to drop down pit road this time, which they enter in turn 3. Not every track. Not 3 times you see that, so. Will that play a factor to getting down the speed on time? We called a race last year where someone overdrove the entrance and hit the water barrels before the wall. So things can happen in a hurry here, trying to find yourself down pit road. We're going to see the pace truck come down. I love this camera, by the way. You're going to see this camera probably a lot. I love that angle. Gives you a great view of what's going on. Off corner exit down the straightaway. Pace truck is down. We're going to see these trucks pop in any second from this angle. And 65 waiting for him to press the go pedal. And there it is. Green flag is out for the hard braking 200 here. Great entrance into turn number 1. The inside lane is going to file down quick. Bottom 2 single file. McGill here. Or Mantle, rather. He's going to file on 3rd single file. 4th and 5th side by side still.
Yeah, 4th and 5th. That's Minor and Slade side by side, but you also have McGill and Knight side by side, so 2 by 2 there. And even a little further back, you have Nick Boyd and Danny White. Thought about going 2 by 2 to make it a 3 by 2. Right now, your top 3, though, Jeremy, are nose to tail driving away while these guys are trying to figure it out. Looks like Minor's finally going to clear Slade. He does get by him, so Mark Minor up to P4, Slade back to P5. But still side by side is Knights on the inside. Contact made. Knights around in front of the field. Caution is out. Ooh, hard contact on the inside. 79 of Knight, the 76 of Boyd.
We're going to take a look, a couple angles anyways, of this wreck here for the first one happening on lap number 2. Short track, close contact there. Looks like the 79 was just trying to squeeze in the middle there. The 12 of Slade kind of not giving 79 much room here, Stephen Knight. You're going to see the 12 kind of drive down the track a little bit. Watch that dark groove just below the inside tires of the 79. He's not shifting. He's not shifting. It's a perfect corner. Joshua Slade comes down just a notch, makes contact. It upsets the nose of the 79. It kicks him around sideways, and it brings him to 76 and also the 99 as well.
Yeah, that is a tough break on that one there. And see, and that is a tough area, Jeremy. So as we're watching right now, there's Slade Spotter's not saying anything. So he's already starting to make his way down and already starting to make that cut. So by the time that his spotter says, "Hey, there's somebody low," he already made his arc down and was starting to drift back up, which is a typical line around there. He was following Minor, who was in front of him. And I mean, that's short track racing, Jeremy. I mean, it's close racing. It doesn't take much. And there actually might have looked like there was a little bit of an air pocket in between the fenders there that actually caused that.
Yeah, short track there. There's not too much air that builds up, but it can at times. And even if that air pocket wasn't there, there still might have been a little bump, but it might not have been as bad, or maybe they might not have spun. And all it takes is just a little bit of extraness to send them around here. And that was on lap number 2. Hopefully we get the wrecks out of the way. That's just part of the short track, of course. Everyone's all buttoned up nice and close, trying to squeeze into the preferred groove, which is the outside lane here. Steve and I did a great job. Joshua, however, was trying to go qualifying lap, straighten out that corner exit that I mentioned in qualifying, where you kind of drive it from the top back down before you get to the straight. He just didn't have the room that he needed and found the 79's right front fender. Looks like the 79 had lost a bumper cover. The 99, maybe left front pushed in quite a bit. We're going to take a couple more laps on this pace lap cycle here, and then we're going to find green flag action once more.
Yeah, and like you said, it was trying to run the qualifying laps, was trying to track in Brad Miner, and just drifted down a little bit. And we've said it before, Jeremy. Racing is a sport that it validates physics quite well. That two forms of matter cannot occupy the same space at the same exact time. It just never works out. So we'll have to see what goes on. Right now, the 54, Brody Marinko, is on your outside, looking to have a better start than the 89 of Bobby Mantle did. Mantle did not have a good initial start on this and fell back to P3. Had to fall in line behind the 54 of Brody Marinko on that one. So now we're going to see if Brody can actually have a little bit better of a start this time than what Mantle did. Pace truck pulls off in turn 3. They got to work their way all the way around turns 3 and 4 until the exit of turn 4. They'll hit that little white line that crosses the track. That is the restart zone. And here we go, Jeremy. Once again, green flag flies. The 65 of McGinley, strong start. Marinko actually had a decent start here, but that inside line is so strong. But Marinko trying to fight back on the outside. Jeremy almost has a nose on the outside of McGinley.
Marinko joins a new team, and here he is trying to battle for the race lead for his new teammates to show him what he's worth, as he's currently P2, falls behind the 65 of McGinley, who gets a better launch out of the corner exit turn 4. You see Marinko already look into the third groove. The 65 McGinley going to conserve the tire wear a little bit by riding the second lane. Everybody goes single file 2 laps into this restart as they're headed to lap number 10.
Yeah, lap number 10, Marinko now trying to look like, trying to poke a nose to the inside there. Did not fare very well right now. Those two are chasing. First pancake belongs to none other than the 12 of Joshua Slade as he tags the turn 1 and 2 walls there as we go in. Taking a drone ride, Jeremy. It's been a while since we've been able to really take a good ride with the drone here, but we're going to sit here and fly around and watch these trucks do what they do best.
Well, here we go. This track's slow enough. It's pretty easy to fly a drone at 120 miles an hour. Just kidding. It's not. Only Dustin Lux that can bring you all that action here. Is he going to pass the race leader? We got a better setup in the drone than he does on the track. You see the 54 Marinko utilizing the inside lane that time around. You're not going to see too many people do that. That tells me that Brody is searching a little bit. Goes high, goes low, trying to find where the truck can rotate best. And you can tell Chad McGinley has this thing dialed in because he is not leaving that second groove whatsoever.
No, he has been locked into that center groove since the drop of the green flag, the initial drop of the green flag. And 12 is Slade out of sorts again, coming off of the corner. So already some handling struggles for that 12 machine as he's slotted back in that 4th position. But Jeremy, these top 2 have broken away now. They got about a 3-4 truck length difference between themselves and 3rd place of Bobby Mantle. Mantle and Slade are running nose to tail, and then you got about a 2 truck length difference between Slade and Brad Miner, and then you got a big space till you can find your 6th place runner right now, and that's Clayton White, who has worked his way up 7 spots. Right now, he's your biggest mover of the race, up 7 spots to slot in P6. And then, Jeremy, it is a huge fall off all the way back to Nick Boyd leading this little pack here. Boyd, Anthony Emmerich, Danny White, Shane Wheeldon, and John Howard are all back here as Wheeldon gets a little loose coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, you have your top 5 within 1.5 from one another. Clayton White in 6th place all by his lonesome. He's 2.7 back. And then 7th place is 5.2 seconds. So you can tell who likes it here, who doesn't. But the back half is a little more busier than the front half, I would have to say. A little bit anyways. Now, they've kind of spaced out the past couple laps. So the 23 under attack by the 64 of Danny White. That's Anthony Emmerich in the 23. They've been nose to tail for basically the whole time since the green flag flew about 7 or 8 laps ago. As he gets really close there in turn 3. He just can't have it stick on exit. Has to check up for the corner. It's going to cause a gap of about 1 truck. Oh, he drives it in so close. Almost makes contact to the back bumper there of Anthony.
Yeah, this racing is heating up, and believe it or not, the more that these race, that's just drawing in the 77 of Shane Wheeldon and the 78 of John Howard. Is now Danny White on the inside of Anthony Emmerich, side by side. Wheeldon in the shadows, waiting for these two to figure out what they're going to do. They're still side by side as they sling it in. Looks like Danny White does a slide job right in front of the 23. Crossover by Emmerich on the inside. Does he get the nose? He does not. Has to pull in line there. So mark the 64 Danny White up to P8.
You couldn't see, but when he tried to do that crossover, he actually tagged square the back bumper of Danny White, which took away the momentum that Anthony had there for corner exit. If he would have stayed to that third groove, he might have kept the nose on the outside of White, but gave it up trying to do the crossover. And I was going to say, if Danny did not have him cleared, he was definitely going to do the slide job into 3, but did not get to see that. Now, number 77, Shane Wielden, he's going to be nose-to-nose at 23, at least off corner exit. And then massive checkup. Now, here we go. Great solid center. If he can hold exit, which, nope, you see he has to lift bad. It's just that extra degree of banking, Dustin, does not hold well when your setup is not dialed in.
No, and it doesn't. And when you're side by side with another truck, unfortunately, you have to roll back out of the throttle there to prevent washing up into that truck into the outside. And that's why passing is so hard. And that's why you have to be spot on your timing. You have to be sure that you can initiate it and get far enough ahead and try to set up for that roll-off checkup so that you don't roll up into them. There's a lot more technicality that goes into this style racing and this style track than most people give credit. And you see that's, again, that 23 of Anthony Emmerich still gets that run on the high side. A little bit of bumper contact there as they go into the corner. Shane Wielden gives him a little bit of the right front to Emmerich's left rear, and I think that actually did more harm to the 77 to Wielden, as now he's under attack from the 78 to John Howard.
Brian in here into the inside. First time he's trying to make a pass attempt under green flag. 78, 77, door to door. 78's going to try to slide it, but the 77 of Shane holds off John really well there, but had to give it up in center. And then John's going to take that spot up to P10 for the 78.
Yeah, and this is one of those crucial battle points that all of us here at Nerd TV talk about. There's key battle points. The lead is a key battle point. The battle for P3 is a key battle point. P5 and P10, those are key battles we like to try to hone in on because, again, battle for the lead, that's for the win. Battle for third place, that's your last podium. Battle for fifth place, that's the last spot in the top 5, and so on for the battle for 10th, it's the last spot in top 10. So we always like to showcase these battles because these are stats, Jeremy, ever so important key stats.
Yeah, 100% here's the whole field, I think, at this point has single filed out here. So Dustin, it's been a couple weeks since we've turned this in, but I think it's a good time to do it. Turn up the tudes. We're going to listen to the sounds of these trucks going around LORP, if you want to call it that. So we'll be right back. And that was turn up the twos. We got to listen to the trucks go around. LORP, I guess, would be the new acronym for this facility.
LORP.
And
It's LORP.
going on LORP Drive, right? No? Okay. I won't do that anymore. But then, ooh, I'm watching this race here between 99, 57, 41. That's John, Ron, and Steve. And these guys are kind of bumper to bumper. They were spaced out in the past 5 or 10 laps or so, but right now they have really closed in on one another. It's not for the top 10 spot, but it's still very racy back here.
Yeah, and right now I think the 99 is just trying to kind of stay with traffic but get out of the way because he is a lap down. But he's just kind of going with the flow right now. I have seen him scrape the wall and a number of other drivers. You can see the scrapes and everything else that have already built up on the walls. So they've already started hitting him, already started leaving their marks. You can see the scuff mark on the first 9 on the passenger side door of the 99 of Austin McGill. So again, these drivers already trying to flirt with that that top line there, and it's already kind of biting them a little bit. But racing is getting pretty racy here, Jeremy. But what I've noticed is a lot of drivers are moving up to more of that third groove, that third lane up there. Not so much where like Chad McGinley had been running, which was solidly in that second lane.
Yeah, and he's going to cleanly pass these guys here. Now, what this is going to do for Chad is going to really open up things between him and the 54. There's already a second and a half, right? But now he's got a bunch of lap cars that he kind of quickly passed. And so if they continue to run almost side by side here, this 1.5 gap might go to 3 seconds plus.
And that's there's Marinko's view right there.
Yeah, and that's step one. He went to the inside. McGinley went to the outside. And so now the 54 was able to clear one truck, but he's got a couple more. And if he gets stuck on the bottom and can't clear the next pass, then that's where his time is really going to fall off. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to play out. And then he has no pressure from behind, though. Bobby Mantle, who's in third, is a second back. So he's trying the inside pass as well. But here it is, side by side. He is stuck at the moment.
Yeah, it almost looked like that there was an opening to go 3 wide, but I can promise you 3 wide almost always does not pan out very well for the drivers involved in it. So it was a good, smart move to hold off and wait for one driver to overcome the other one, and that was Austin McGill. So now he was able to get around. Now he's setting his sights on the 99, but the 99 trying to go to the inside of the 41. That's a 41 of Steven Smith right now. So again, racing pretty hard, but he does yield way down the backstretch. Veteran sportsman move there by the 99, knowing that that's a second place car trying to chase down your race leader.
Oh, absolutely. In the 41, Steven Smith really has to check up there and gave up the spot quickly. And nope, the second caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes is out. It's going to involve the number 23 and the 64. Remember, these guys have been racing hard for quite some time. And we'll have to see if, too many times around each other is not good here. This is off turn 4. The wreck happens in turn 2.
Oh, he was out of
tight.
Yep, and he got in super hard. He got into the wall, pancaked it. That was just so the leader was coming in. That was right in front of your race leader too. Chad McGinley. McGinley gets by it. Wow, how close is that by McGinley? That happened right in front. So that was just a bad product right there. It almost looked like the 64 drove it in super hard. The 23 recognized it, went up to the wall. They tried to check up. You seen the backfire out of the tailpipes there, and that's all she wrote. We're gonna take a ride on board the 65 of McGinley here and see exactly what he saw. This is in real time, so we can see the 64 Danny White go in. There's the wall scrape contact. Right there, drives it down and gone. Good veteran move to stay clear. Looks like the 54, Brody Marinko, that red truck back there, makes it through as well. So good heads-up driving by all the drivers around him.
Yep, very good heads up there by everybody else around him. And trucks are coming down pit road for the first time. We're going to kick it to our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be right back. And back to full screen here as we got a half a lap left before we're going to see the green flag drop. Chad McGinley, Brody Marinko, Bobby Mantle, Bradley Miner, and Nick Boyd is currently your top 5. Pace truck is down. We're going to watch the 65 control the restart for the 3rd time this evening. Green flag flies on lap number 48. Chad McGinley gets a great start. 1 truck length over the 54. Gets into turn number 1. The 89 is going to try his best to maintain with Brody. Not going to be possible. Bradley Miner's going to back down. Let the 89, Bobby, file in, single file. Then the 46 is going to tackle the inside.
Yeah, 46 of Brad Miner looking to the inside of Bobby Mantle right now. Ooh, a little bit of a drift up there. Had to chase the truck up the track a little bit. And that cost his run right there. So now he falls back in line. And now to the clutches of the 14 of Clayton White, who is up 8 positions from his starting spot and has now cracked the top 5. He's trying to chase it down, but right now he's got a mirror full of that 12 of Joshua Slade.
He really does here. 4th, 5th, and 6th really tight to one another here. Bobby Mantle does not get a great exit of turn 4, so 4 trucks now are going to be single file here. Bradley's going to try to make a pass. I don't see that working. Does not this time. Back to single file. Bradley's going to drive 1 lane lower than that yellow spoiler driver there from Grim Reaper. Turn number 4, they all stay single file, but the top 2, Dustin quickly breaking away.
Yeah, these 2 have definitely been the class of the field right now, with a little bit more of a hat tip going towards Chad McGinley. He definitely has the most stable truck out there. He can put that truck anywhere he wants. He can drive it how he wants. And he's consistent and maintains, and he's able to put some distance. But hats off to Brody Marinko, though. He has definitely shown that he and his team has brought a solid piece to this track tonight for this event, for his inaugural run for One of One Motorsports, as he's been the only one that's been able to even get close to contention-wise to the 65 of McGinley.
Yeah, absolutely here, and he's got to figure out that long run. Oh, we got a slow truck on the track you found on Mr. John Howard in the 78. Looks like you got something for the Nerd TV replay. Turn number 1 and 2. Going to race the 77 of Shane Wheeldon, which those 2 have been around each other whole race. And he just got loose there on the transition in the middle of the track.
Yep, sure did. A little bit of inside contact there, but is able to get it going again. It was off the racing surface, so no caution comes out. But yeah, didn't take much there at all to upset the weight balance in that truck. So right now, John Howard is way off pace right now, trying to get everything going back again. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, that was running in the top 10. That was actually the battle for 9th at the time. So right now, John Howard losing 3 positions in that exchange right there. So definitely has a lot of work to go ahead, or, you know, he may be hoping for a caution to close things back up to try to get back up to where he was running.
Yeah, absolutely here. But, you know, we're 55 laps in, we're already a 4th of the way through the race. I know these guys had an extra set of tires, and they've already expelled 1, if not 2, depending on if they wanted to take tires after the first 2 laps. I don't recall who did and who didn't then, but I know everybody did just about 8 laps ago. As you see right there, that confirms everyone just changed on the second pit stop, not the first round there. And that doesn't give us a great example of what the fuel mileage looks like. They definitely can make it on 1 more stop, though, if they were to go green the rest of the way.
Yeah, and it's depending on how it runs. I mean, they that might have just shot some of the pit strategy, you know, in the foot there a little bit on that caution. Some of these drivers may have been, you know, just keeping a little bit of hope that it was going to go flag to flag without any cautions to be able to try to one-stop it. Because, like I said, some of these drivers, they prep and practice for that long run, you know, the longevity. And we have seen some drivers pull some miraculous, I mean, just miracle calls on the strategy side that has gotten them the dub and, you know, the interview in victory lane. So now it's pretty much setting their sights to just getting to the end at this point in time, Jeremy. These short tracks are tough because you can run so much on fuel. The fuel load on there, I mean, these guys run a reduced fuel load anyway, but it's still a ridiculous amount of laps. It's the tires that slowly start giving way and start losing time as each and every lap is put on them.
Yeah, 100% here. And if you slide between the first 2 lanes or second to third lane, when you slide the truck, you're just eating away those tires. So you saw the line that McGinley likes to run, where it's a very smooth, consistent second lane around this track. You'll watch him here as he goes through 1 and 2 once more. He's going to get to the second lane and hold it. Well, that time he's going to prove me wrong here because he slid up a little bit on corner. We'll try 3 and 4. Let's see if he does it there. But he's so far has been very consistent running the second groove. There he is. He barely crosses over that line. Just a little dip to the bottom, but for the most part, it's all within that second groove. Some of these other drivers are sliding heavy up to the top, back down, which is great for short-term speed, but long-term it wrecks the tires. So this is one of the reasons why the 65 is outpacing the rest of the field.
Yeah, and he's using a lot of the track too. He's rolling in, letting the trucks roll through the corner, and he's dipping the tires above that groove on the second into the third, just to get a little bit of a bite in that straight drive off that you were talking about, Jeremy. That lowers the chance that the truck is going to break loose on the weight jacking and the weight distribution coming off the corner onto the flat. So it allows him to maintain better control of that truck all the way through and on corner exit. That's what allows him to stay as smooth as what he did. Last lap, you see Marinko got loose coming out of the corner there a little bit, and that's why McGinley runs the line and has been running as smooth as he has been. It allows him to stay in control of that truck rather than that truck controlling where he goes.
Yeah, 100% here. We're going to take our time real quick to shout out one of our partners that does not have a commercial with us, and that's one of them is going to be Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles, the official hobby shop for the Nerditudes, based out of New York, and they are your one-stop shop for many things nerdy. Collectible cards, they got them. Souvenirs such as action figures, got them. Thousands of comic books to select from, got it. And so if you just want to one-up your nerddom collection, head yourself over to dustypete's.com. Promotion code is SUPERNERD. You see it there above the logo at the bottom of the screen. It's going to save you 15% off your online purchase of $20 or more. And once again, that's dustypete's.com.
And I do want to give an extra shout out there as well to the proprietor of that fine establishment, Dustin Sorber, and his family. They live just outside of Rome, New York. An area that, if you guys have been keeping up with Mother Nature and how bipolar she happens to be, has elected to drop some tornadoes and some tornadic action over there. A lot of damage and everything else. Power had been out for a lot of people, to include the Sorbers. So glad that the entire Sorber clan was able to make it through safe and sound, and look forward to when they are able to get back on and enjoy some gaming with the nerds.
Yeah, it's been so hot this year. Mother Nature's not been anyone's friend. I know my weather app changes every 2 hours down here in Central Florida. It'll say no rain, then it'll say heavy rain. And then 5 minutes later says, actually, it's just going to be cloudy. They just don't know. It's so hot. So yeah, hopefully they get power up soon and everything goes back to normal living as is. Right now, we're a very nice 69 laps through the 200 scheduled laps here for the hard-braking 200. You're seeing a lot of single file here on the track. It looks like Austin McGill in the 99. He's down pit road. He's got some damage, Dustin, outside of that initial wreck.
Yeah, definitely looks like he does there. So I don't know if he gained a little bit more from the wall, and that's why we were actually focused on the 12 of Joshua Slade. You know what's not hot right now, Jeremy? That 12 truck, because I tell you what, that thing has been loose. Look at that bobble going in. He's loose as a goose right now. That right rear is super heated up. He's tail slapped the wall a couple times coming off, and look at the bobble coming off the corner there for that 12. He is out of the gas. You see the back fire coming out of the tailpipe. He can't roll back on the throttle. That thing is just in some icky sticky right now.
How painful do you think it'll be for him to reach out to his brand new teammate Brody Marinko and ask him for tips to get around this track?
Oh, I definitely think if I was in Joshua's seat right now, as ill handling as that truck looks, I would be on the radio saying, Brody, man, tell me how to get around this track, because this truck is not liking what I'm doing right now.
And one thing I touched about Chad McGinley's line compared to everybody else, I said, here we go.
Woohoo! Hold on to her, Joshua.
Excellent save there. Great hands to hold that truck standing out. What he's doing, he's driving this truck heavy into turns 1 and 3. Really slides up the corner, which is upsetting the rear tire first and foremost. but all the tires, for that matter, are just being overheated. And so after that big slide, you'd think he's going to be a little more conservative, which he is there. Much better line through 3 and 4. But he's got to calm that line down like he just did that last set of corners, or else second truck is going to continue to get worse and worse.
Yeah, you could see him bobbling like that. Yeah, he's got to take an easy entry. He's got to back those corners up, let the tire temps on those tires, not just the right rear, all of them, because they're all screaming at him right now as he is flirting with disaster here. But he has got to do that. I get it, the racing mentality. You see the drivers ahead of you pulling away, but I tell you what, they're really going to pull away if you spin this thing out or you wall slap that thing so bad that it knocks the handling so far out that you can't even drive it or be competitive anymore. And that's the tough thing when it comes to racing.
Yeah, 100% here. He's still loose there. 76 laps in the book. We've had an average of 10 to 12 viewers on YouTube, and I don't see a single chat there in that chat thread. So if you want any shout outs or just want to talk about the race with us, feel free. We'll throw your chats in here when we can, which right now looks like we have lots of time to do that. So kind of drop them in where you can, or you can just let us know how we're doing, good or bad. But Dustin, we got a pass on the track here. The 14 Clayton White trying to get around Bradley Minor here in turn 1 and 2. They're going to be side by side to come into 3.
Side by side, the Clayton White slides up, completes that pass a half a truck length distance. Brad Minor tries to rebound a little bit, but not able to close in. So Mark Clayton White up to P4 now, as now he sets his sights on the 89 of Bobby Mantle. As a little bit of wall scrape there after he completed the pass, but he's still full sail right now, chasing that man down right there, the 89 of Mantle.
I got my soundboard ready for those little donks on the wall there. It's only fitting. We got the time here, and we got another pass, looks like right there. Or that's a slow truck. It's a 25 getting lapped again by the number 54 Brody. And here goes Bobby Mantle in third.
Yeah,
now,
but look at who he's chasing down. He has cut that gap to the 54 of Brody Marinko down, Jeremy, to under a second. He's closing right now, so I would safely say that Bobby Mantle has a better longer run setup. That or Brody Marinko just burnt his tires up quite a bit and overheated them and has fallen that far off the pace.
Well, just like his teammate, the 12 Joshua Slade, the 54 is indeed in the same camp. Chad McGinley has a 3.5 second lead over the 54. Bobby Mantle has reeled him into under a second, about 7/10, that is. Another 2 seconds back is 4th and 5th place. So it's just really, really spaced out here amongst the 17 trucks that are on track. Well, I'm going to say 16 because Austin McGill is all but backed out. He's under pit road now, 15 laps down. I don't know if we're going to see that 99 back in the race.
No, and that was an unfortunate thing. He was involved in that first incident there between Slade and Knight that inevitably sent the 79 spinning that collected both Nick Boyd and the 99 of Austin McGill. So he's had damage since lap 2, and that's unfortunate because McGill and Boyd, they were nowhere near that incident. They just kind of got pulled in on it.
They sure did, and there we go. There's some chats. You see Lester is here. Don't worry about it, he says. So appreciate you chiming in. And then It's Not Lame says, you guys kill it every week. Go Grim, a.k.a. Grim Reaper Motorsports, which that is your 1st and 3rd place truck, and 7th place truck for that matter. So 3 of them in the top 10 here this evening. And 4.5 seconds now separates 1st and 2nd place. Bobby Mantle has lost that run over Brody, still maintains 0.7 or 0.8 behind him for the past 9 or 10 laps.
Yeah, it looks like, and right there could be a reason why the 89 of Bobby Mantle got loose coming out of turn 4 there. So his truck may be ill handling as well, but I've also noticed Brody Marinko's changed his line up, Jeremy, through the corners, which could also attribute to that spatial difference in between himself and Bobby Mantle. And I appreciate it. It's not lame. We try it each and every week. We love calling races, especially for all of the folks over here at Global. And Lester, I know you have one crack, buddy. Crack one for us as well. We try not to drink on the job. So, but racing, racing heating up here. As you see Clayton White still trying to make some distance. He's separated himself from Brad Miner there, trying to chase down the 89 of Bobby Mantle, who is, again, had an ill-handling truck. But like you said, Jeremy, I mean, everything is just spaced out. And you see Joshua Slade still having issues with that truck. He almost tank slapped it again off that last corner. I mean, it almost looks like he's racing these trucks at Bristol or Eldora right now, the way he's going through that corner. That right rear is just yawing out all the way through, and he's just sawing on that wheel.
To make a perfect transition complete here, the only thing I'm drinking on the job is vitamin water, and that's from Victory Fuel, the official hydration partner for the Nerditudes. Full of electrolytes, absence of caffeine, and low sugar content, which makes it the perfect drink for not just you, but your entire family to drink and to stay energized. Kid-friendly, supports your overall health, and it's flavorful. So what more do you want out of a drink? So if you want to check out them and purchase from them, head yourself over to drinkvictory.com. Promotion code SUPERNERD saves you 10% off your entire purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. And we usually don't kick the cameras on very often, but I literally just cracked mine open. So there you go.
There it is. We both got one.
Yeah, excellent stuff. It's kid-friendly. My kids love drinking it because they feel like they're part of the nerd crew because they're drinking the same stuff that Dad and his nerd buddies are drinking when we game and race and have fun. So it's definitely a very clean hydration solution on that one. But I tell you what, right now, there's some of these guys that not only would love to have some Victory Fuel, but Jeremy, I'm telling you, they would love to have some fresh tires on these trucks right now.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. And Mr. Lester just said, wait for my triumphant, I can't speak. I'm dead. His return to Talladega. He's going to wait till October 6th to get back behind the wheel in a truck. I mean, that's 2 days before my birthday, so I'll count it as a birthday gift myself. But Daytona is next week. I don't know if you know that, Mr. Lester. Might want to jump in there too, but that'd be kind of cool regardless. But man, we'll take October 6th. Oh, no. Save. I thought the 41 was all but done right there.
Oh, man, the 41 did not realize his life just flashed before his eyes, and he didn't even know it because that 12, I mean, that thing was angled like 25 degrees right towards his truck. So, my goodness. But no, it's going to be awesome to see you come back, Lester. That's the only bad side about being up here in the booth. I love what we do. I love calling the races for you guys. It's always fun. It's always good getting to know the drivers and having some fun with it, but there's always times, especially Daytona, Talladega, that I'd love to get out of the production booth and just go down there and just rub fenders with, some of the guys that we call each and every week just to have some fun. And those are probably two of the tracks that I enjoy doing it the most. And Jeremy, I tell you what, as we've been talking and interacting here, the 89 of Bobby Mantle has chased down the 54 Marinko again. Right now he's battling with the 78 of John Howard. He clears him, now sets his sights for the 54. And as it goes right now, he is closing in hard.
Michael Lester said, oh shit, to the Daytona comment, I think. So maybe see him next week.
Somebody lost track of the schedule.
That's right. So get your butt in here. And Dustin, don't be threatening us jumping into a race because the last time we did it, Jason Rockefeller won it on a Tuesday in the Cup Series. One off for the entire year, hops into it, wins at Talladega. So if we have to get you or Jason into a car for the next Talladega race, October 6th, we might just go 2 for 2 on you guys.
Hey, that's my birthday month. That would be 1 week before my birthday. So I don't know. We might have to work something out. So if anybody in the chats, I mean, if that's something that you think might actually be something fun to see, we'll have to just shout us out. Let us know. We might have to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I see Holmesy in the chat too, saying possible torn bicep and rotator cuff. Hope to return soon as well. So Holmesy, not able to make it tonight because of that.
I feel your pain, Holmesy. I 110% feel your pain. I have a partially torn bicep muscle going into the shoulder, and it's not the rotator cuff for me, it's the AC joint. So, buddy, I literally and metaphorically feel your pain, and turning on these wheels, it's tough, man. It is. So, heal up, man. We'll be around when you make your triumphant return as well. Heal up.
At least you can say that word. If you look, if you can see the pylon, 10 trucks are 1 lap down or more now. McGinley is just on a mission. He's 7 seconds over second place Brody Marinko right now. That's a third of the track almost. If not, it is a third of the track. So that's just from first to second. So if this stays green the entire way, this top 5 is under threat of being put down a lap as well. Chad McGinley just continued on that second groove, just dominant performance, holding a very steady line, keeping those tires in check. Everybody else is slipping and sliding, not having a good time. Bobby Mantle, you mentioned him catching up to Marinko. He is still right there, half a second between these two trucks. So this is probably your best race on the track at the moment.
Yeah, and these guys have been closing in on each other. They get close, they separate, they get close, they separate. Lap traffic has played a little bit of a key role in that, but right now it's just those two, and they have stayed and maintained that distance around. You see that Mantle has a way better corner entry, but Marinko has got that center off drive, and that's where he spaces it back out again. But if Mantle can keep hitting these corner entries, he's going to be right up to the back bumper of Marinko. Now, again, catching the driver is one thing. Passing the driver, a whole nother story, Jeremy.
Triumphant. There we go.
Triumphant. There you go.
I can say it. It took Lester 4 times in a row to say it in the chat for me to get it right. There we go. Stare at the word long enough, you can be the word.
See, this is why I love broadcasting and the way that we do it, because I love interacting with the fans and the viewers out there and bringing them in and making them part of it. And that's actually something that we're working on the next layout as well, is to actually have your comments come up on the screen a little bit, as long as they're appropriate, mind you. Try to keep it as appropriate as possible, but that way you actually literally are not only verbally on there as we shout you out, but people can visibly see you also.
Yeah, I mean, the filter on YouTube kind of holds back, so we have to click show for it to show up. But you know, that's if a vulgar word pops up. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Maybe we can click and choose which comment to display and which not just automatically flow through. So we're safe and secure on that notion. But speaking of safe and secure, this 54 might be dropping back to third. He's got to pass Shane Wheeldon. Shane's going to check him up a little bit, make him go to the inside. Brody's going to look to the top to maybe do something, but nope, 77 way too slow. Almost causes Bobby to wreck the thing, and now he's going to lose all that ground he made up.
Yeah, he had to go way low on that one there and just completely demolish the run that he had going down there. It looked like he was almost thinking of taking it 3 wide with the run he had, while Marinko and Shane were battling side by side, and it just, the opportunity was there and then it wasn't. So he's going to have to reel him back in. But Jeremy, while all this is going on, we haven't even mentioned it. Clayton White literally has caught Bobby Mantle and Brody Marinko. He is literally in the wings waiting to pounce, and he's hungry. This man has had his ups and downs this season. Has had strong runs that have been ended, due to accidents, many of which not of his doing, just wrong place at the wrong time, like a lot of other drivers. So he is hungry for a podium. And he is trying. As you could tell, he was even wall scraping it coming off of turn 2.
He came in hot and heavy into this league, running strong, and just kind of had a little bit of a lull point. But now he's flirting with getting himself back into a podium position once more, as Mr. Lester calls himself an ass. For what reason, I don't know. But
we'll allow it. He's calling himself that. We'll allow it.
Yeah, it's not me doing it, so we're good. We're clear. Five car lengths separate the 54 and the 89, and then the 89 to the 14.
Ooh. Oh!
Oh my!
Both
the
trucks.
54 was loose. Bobby Mantle just extremely loose. Now Clayton's like, I smell third place. Here I am.
Yeah, that was, it was almost like follow the leader, and Brody Marinko got a little bit loose coming out of the corner, and Bobby Mantle's like, ha! I got you, boy. Hold my beer. And he got way loose coming out of the corner.
Oh, and there's a little, for you right there, a little outside touch to turn 4 wall. And he's going to get back to it, try to get right to the 89. They're almost perfectly identical in lap times. It's just the loose factor for Bobby is the difference right now. And Bobby's feeling the pressure. We're 112 laps in, 113 at the line here. The 14 Clayton White gets loose this time. Now he's going to fall back a truck length.
Did he get loose, or did he react to the 89 getting loose and tagging the wall a little bit there?
Great question. Next question.
Yeah, exactly. And this is only going to make it harder for Mantle, because not only is he battling an ill-handling truck, because again, I mean, we've had many laps on these tires right now. You look at the stint length, we've had 70 laps on these tires since these drivers came down pit road and got a fresh set of simulated Goodyear sneakers on these things. But also, the closer that Clayton gets to Bobby Mantle, that's going to affect the air as well. You can get somebody aero loose, especially if the truck is already ill-handling. So this is a very, very volatile situation with as close as they're racing. But these drivers, I mean, they're giving it their all. You see 14 of Clayton White drive it heavy into the turn there, has to back out, is right now Bobby Mantle trying to pass the 64 Danny White.
Yeah, your pit window actually opens up in about 5 laps. If you want to split this stint down the middle, we got 85 to go now. They've done 71 laps on the tires. So it's about 7 laps is about the middle part of that. And if you want to split it right down the middle, that's when you're going to come down pit road. So we potentially could see pit road open up here in the next 5 to 10 laps, I would imagine.
Oh, and if you're keeping an eye on that, you know these drivers are, because there's a number of drivers right now that would love to have some fresh tires. Brody Marinko definitely screaming. His truck has been ill-handling. The 89, Bobby Mantle, we've seen him out of shape. We've seen Clayton White out of shape a couple times. We've seen the 12 of Joshua Slade out of shape, and he's just hanging on in the top 10 right now. So a lot of these drivers we know definitely want some fresh tires coming in, because these trucks, I mean, they are losing more and more time right now. As Jeremy, there's fewer and fewer trucks on this lead lap as Chad McGinley is just putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, his teammate 79 Stephen Knight is about a third of a lap away from being lapped down from Chad McGinley as they continue to get closer and closer to this top 5 of putting them a lap down. But there's a nice second half gap between him and Bradley Minor, and then it's 6 seconds. So I think Chad can get to 6th and 5th place. I don't know if he's going to be able to reach Clayton White. That's a tall glass of water to drink right there. But here in the next 2 or 3 laps, there's that 50-50 split. Who will be the first taker?
Yeah, and that's going to be the question is our race leader going to take it, and is everybody going to follow suit, or is he going to run it as long as possible? Here's my thing. If I'm McGinley, I'm going to run that thing as long as possible, let the other drivers start coming down pit road. With the lead that he has right now, he can afford to lose some time on the track to fresher tires and still come out on top. So it would benefit him, because I would give him fresher tires on the longer run, and I think that's the call that I would make. But again, that may not be the right call. That's why I'm up in the booth, Jeremy, and not out on the track.
That is indeed correct. And just kind of looking over the lap times from the start of the run to the end of the run, Chad McGinley, our last caution break was ended around 47, so 48 restarted the race, and he was running 21.8s, 21.9s right now. His last time by, averaging 23, so he's just over a second off.
Actually, his last lap was a 22.9, so that's second fall off is right where he's at right now. So he's still got speed in that thing, even with the tires having 80 laps on them.
Yes, sir. That's part of the average there. And so his fall off is way less than most of these other guys. Hence why he's running that one single line and he's able to do what he's doing right now. And window's been open. I have not seen any takers yet. I would imagine like the 12 or maybe the 89, one of those guys would come down pit road, or maybe I don't know, guy like Stephen Knight, maybe he comes down pit road. He's not had a fun night himself. Bounced off the wall quite a few times. Truck not in the best shape, but needless to say, the number 12 Joshua Slade. He actually did fall lap
Oh.
down, by the way.
And here we go. Your race
He did
leader,
take the
Chad.
first.
Yeah, he did. And actually, we had a couple. Anthony Emmerich and Ron Harrington were actually in pit road that last lap. But this is your first lead lap driver coming down. And Brody Marinko, Bobby Mantle, Brad Miner, Steve Knight, they all follow suit. Shane Wheeldon is coming down as well. So every one of them follows suits except for the 14 of Clayton White. He elects to stay out. He will lead this lap this time by. So mark him some bonus points there, which are ever so crucial. See, Jeremy, you got me stumbling now. But he elects to stay out all the way around this time. There's that lap led. Now, I would say that his pit window is open, so you can expect to see the 14 come down anytime, especially with the 65 and everyone else behind him on the lead lap having fresh tires.
Bobby Mantle was just being a bully to Brody there down pit road. Just bumped him 5 or 6 different times, trying to keep him right at edge at pit speed. But yeah, they kind of surprised us, Dustin. I had in the back of my head, and you fully said it, that the guys in the front were going to pit last because they could afford it. But that's not the case. We saw your top 3 come down first for the guys that are still in the lead lap. So kind of surprised they took that risk. But little contact on a shove, the 76, I think that is. Yep, up the track into the wall. But he is still attacking strong on Brody right now.
Yeah, he is coming on strong right there in the 76. They were fighting side by side. And the 89 of Bobby Mantle was trying to get by because he didn't want to lose any ground. He wants to try to capitalize on these fresh tires and try to get himself in front of the 54 because passing is very difficult. So if he can get himself in front of the 54, that just means the 54 has to work even harder to try to get back by him. So this battle here is going to be a crucial key battle right now. That is going to be the battle for what would be your P3 spot because Joshua Slade is currently slotted in P2, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's holding on. I don't think he's made that pit road yet. That truck, he fell down over a lap
No,
down.
he did. He has.
Did?
He was one of the first ones. He is 16 laps on this set of tires right now.
Okay.
That's how he got up there. He short pitted the crap out of this. That was a good veteran move by the 12 there to short pit. Yeah, drivers around him are going to have fresher tires, Jeremy, but at some point in time, the fall off is going to be, it's going to equalize out. That, and you better believe that he probably made some adjustments to that setup while he was on pit road. So hopefully, he's probably hoping that looseness that he was fighting in the later run that he just got done with is gone.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun and interesting to watch. That truck was one of, if not the loosest trucks on the track, 40 or 50 laps into his green flag run, just slipping and sliding all over the place. And
Danny White.
Danny White brings out the third Boomer button box caution. And Dustin, the 12 strategy played perfectly. He's going to be restarting this thing on the lead lap inside the top 5. But here we go. Here's Danny White. Third groove, second groove, transitions nicely there. His left front touches, slides up the track, and just the rear tires had no more grip.
Yep, they just gave way. He locks it down. Doesn't touch anything, though. Excellent job to make sure he didn't touch anything or come back up into the track. But to touch base on the 12 strategy, even if that thing went green the whole way, Jeremy, I still say that it was a solid strategy because he was slotted in 10th, almost 11th place at that point in time. And even if it would have stayed green and Brody Marinko and Bobby Mantle and even Clayton White would have got up there to pass, and he still would have been sitting in a top 5 position, which is a lot better than where he was slotted in 10th, almost 11th. So it was still a good call to short pit on that one there, and that caution there just solidifies that call. Right now, as you see, McGinley's down pit road, Slade, Nick Boyd's down pit road, Brody Marinko, Bobby Mantle, and Clayton White all elect to stay out on this caution period, Jeremy.
And I know that some just visited pit road not too long ago, so do what you can there. And it should bring... Not sure who the lucky dog contender was there. Might have been Steve Knight at the 79. Well, he's into the natural wave run. He's going to be not pitting, so it might have been Bradley Miner or it could be John Howard. Either way, one of those guys did receive that lucky dog. And we're going to do a really quick, brief picture-in-picture. We'll be back for the drop of the green flag. And back to full screen here. Pace truck is down. Race is resuming on lap 139. We're going to be pit stop free unless there's another caution on the track. But Brody Marinko on the 54 is your race leader. Chad McGinley fell all the way back to 4th place after that yellow flag cycle there. So Brody, Bobby, Clayton White, Chad McGinley, that's your top 4. Chad McGinley's got the groove preferred on the top of exit turn 2. Clayton White's not going to give up. Drives almost into the door panel. Chad able to keep it contact free for the most part there. Chad's really tight on exit.
Yeah, side by side going to the corner. Oh, so close, Jeremy. Oh, Clayton White has to check up big time. So they fall side by side and back into line now. And look at that run that the 12 of Slade had, still battling Nick Boyd. This is a big time stack up here. Oh, contact made. Slade's around. Boyd's around. Caution flies. And I just got done saying that was a big stack up there. Because it was, I mean, they were checking each other up with the way that they have to drive this track, Jeremy. And the unfortunate thing happened.
Nick Boyd just too loose there on exit turn 4. You're going to see it here. Gets real tight, but then just loses grip and turns right into the door panel of the 12. Pushes him and in the 12 around. And they're both going to nose the wall, I do believe. And then it's a 2-truck wreck here for the 4th time this evening.
Yeah, 2-truck wreck. You see them both slide. Oh, hard impact by Nick Boyd into the inside retaining wall there. That's going to hurt the truck. Joshua Slade, however, has some front nose impact there, but nothing that looks substantial. It is short track racing, so aerodynamics does not count as a major factor in tonight's events. But we're going to have to see what happens. That's going to bring Steve Knight, Brad Miner, Joshua Slade, and Nick Boyd. Slade and Boyd both involved in that most recent Boomer Button Box caution. They're going to come down to the service of their crew and see what's going on. That still puts Brody Marinko in that 54, leading right now as you see the 25 takes his lap around. That's Abram Ghostin. That is your lucky dog, presented by Martin Sports at hashtag Get a Grip. Go get yourself another lap back. Marinko still leading. Bobby Mantle running second. Jeremy, these two drivers literally have been around each other damn near the whole night, and they are still there right now, only now the battle's for that top spot.
Yeah, 100% there. And Chad's going to have the inside groove to try to pass his teammate, but we're approaching 50 laps to go in this race testing. The super long run is out of the question. So we're going to see probably a little bit more tougher battles, a little bit longer lasting side-by-side efforts to try to get positions where you can. And, the second time we're going to see, we really didn't get the first time. So I'm going to call it the first time still, seeing a non-Chad McGinley front row. Chad was able to pass one truck, and now he's here, going to be on the bottom, trying to figure out how to get around the 54 and 89. So that'll be his objective here, and everybody else behind him just trying to figure out who's going to be third place. Can they do anything with the 89 or 54? I'm not sure, but whoever's going to try is going to have a very tall task ahead of them.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, the one we know the 65 has been stout. I mean, from most of this race, he literally has been in a zip code of his own. But we know the 54's got some speed under that machine. And obviously the 89 of Bobby Mantle does as well, because he's been maintaining and been pressuring the 54 literally all race long. So we know those two got some speed, which is going to make those two some tough obstacles for the 65 to try to navigate around. Like you said, 50 laps to go, that's not a lot of time. The long run is on the way out. You still have to not overdrive your tires, not overheat them. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a situation where it's going to get slick and sloppy, and the truck's going to want to start breaking loose, and that's when you're either going to have to chase the truck or you're going to be wall slapping it coming off the corners. But these drivers have a much smaller window now, so like you said, the aggression level is going to be increased a little bit. Meaning these drivers are going to battle harder side by side to maintain a position or to gain a position, which is going to make everybody's job just that much harder.
It really is. This is going to be a fun restart here. I think we're going to be in for a little treat getting close to 50 laps to go. You still got to protect those tires a little bit, but you're not trying to run at 70 or 80 laps, so it's a different mindset here. Pace truck is down. 54 has been pretty good on these restarts so far. Of course, he's controlling it this time. Let's see if he can clear the 89. In the middle of the Geico restart zone is the green flag, and there it is, quickly to clear Bobby. Chad's going to go side by side with his teammate into turn 1 and 2. Clayton White's going to hold off Joshua Slade, who resumed in 5th after that last wreck.
Oh, Bobby!
And into the wall. Not sure if that was by pinch or just overdrove exit, but either way, he's going to now fight the 14 of Clay White.
Yeah, Clayton White on the inside right now. That was wicked loose and actually pretty decent contact to the outside wall. But he's not giving up. This is that aggression level we were talking about. They are going to battle even harder for these positions now. And that's exactly what you're seeing. Clayton White probably has a slight advantage. He's got the fresher tires, even though they weren't out there on those tires very long. And you don't know what the damage is doing to the 89. So right now, Clayton White in P3 as we have another Boomer button box caution, our 5th caution of the night. And this one looks like it involves a 57 of Ron Harrington.
Yes, it does, and it looks like it is a solo spin for the DJ Rockin' machine here. Gets turn 4, and he was loose before the full exit approach to the corner, and is going to find himself deep to the infield. I don't think he made wall contact. He does not.
He does not.
Good job on saving it from the wall.
Yeah, that was some good stuff there. Again, could have been a whole lot worse. And I guarantee you right now, we probably need a new driver suit change for the 77 of Shane Wheeldon, because he got a front row seat to all of that. As he sees him get loose there and brake and gas. You see him brake and he pulled down just to make sure he didn't get railroaded from behind, or what all of us iRacers call arc a brake from behind. So definitely good heads-up driving there by the 77 and 57 as well to make sure that maintained and stayed out of the wall.
Yeah, very good heads-up driving there for sure. For Ron Harrington, we're going to shout out another one of our partners here for the Nerditude side of things, RaceEPI.com. That's Elite Performance Industries. So if you want that competitive edge and get yourself into victory lane today on the open sessions of the iRacing service, or if you're in an open setup league race like this one here, you're going to head yourself over to RaceEPI.com today. In fact, do it right after this race. if you're not the winner of tonight's race, you need an edge, and that's where you're going to find it. Elite Performance Industries, and great add-on addition for Nerd TV and Nerd Esports this year. Glad to have them on board. So far, treating us very well, and it's a very mutual partnership. And yeah, not just a partner, Dustin. They're also really good setups. That's it. So
they are, and
hope
it's
one today.
I slacked on the graphic on this one here and did not put the promo code. The Super Nerd promo code does work on this one. Will save you 10% on setup purchase there. So if you want to try them out, go try them out. They still got setups for IRP. You can still get some run and done there in officials, or if you want to wait till next week, the Daytona setups will be out. But definitely go and give them a shot. See what they have to offer. I tell you, you will not be disappointed.
You really will not be disappointed for sure. We're gonna have looks like 2 laps left before we're gonna go back to green flag, which will put this race restarting around lap 155. So 46 laps to go, and we had a short stint there, and I think things will just get a little more buttoned up more and more.
Your top 3 did not pit. Your top 3 did not pit. Everybody else behind them, fourth on back, did come down pit road.
And show that graphic if you can of
if I can.
Here.
This guy.
I know it doesn't look right because we don't have the ticker up top, but still, show the differences. You got
this
20. Yeah, this guy. I don't think he can do anything, but then he proves me wrong every time. So there you go. But look at Clayton White. He pitted a little beforehand on the previous, right? And he's going to benefit from the guys who did pit. He jumps up 10 positions, so he's going to be restarting in third. That's your biggest mover right now just because of that alone. But you see the tire wear from Marinko, 28 laps compared to McGinley's 19. So that might be the difference to where Chad gets around Brody. But we're going to find out. He gets a chance on the outside now. On the front row restart. Pace truck is down. Go through 3 and 4 one more time. Guys are a little lagged back behind these front couple rows. Need to close it in a little bit. Just wait for the middle of the Geico restart zone. That's the last time where the green flag flew. Same thing here on the front half of that zone this time. McGinley's not going to be able to make the attack as Clayton White's going to make a quick move to the inside.
Yeah, it's going to be short-lived, though, as McGinley gets that good run on the outside. Clayton White's going to have to fall back in line in third place, which he does. Single file now all the way back till you get to the 25 of Abram Ghostin and the 79 of Steve Knight. Those two are duking it out side by side. And you see Joshua Slade stuck back behind those two. But Jeremy, your top 5 all nose to tail right now. McGinley putting some pressure on the 54 Marinko.
Yep, 1 to 2 truck links separate these two here. Clayton White gonna make a strong effort here. Bobby Mantle trying to make a pass to the outside, just didn't have the grip. He's gonna fall back still behind the 46 of Bradley Minor. But I think to answer my third place question, the 14 Clayton White, I think he's got that truck. I think he's gonna be able to hold on to it if we stay green the rest of the way. I'm just curious to see how the 54 holds the 65 off here for the next, 43 laps left?
Yeah, and the thing that I'm seeing right now, Jeremy, is you look at that 65. He is running the same line every corner, but we have seen probably about 3 or 4 different sets of corners now, and that 54 changes lanes every corner there. Now you see he's way down low. He had been up high before, but that 65 McGinley, he runs that consistent line. And my fear is, we already know Marinko's got more laps on those tires. Is he going to burn those tires up? Just making those lane changes, like what you had talked about earlier in the race. You know, the more that they make lane changes, the more they wear, the more they heat up. McGinley so close to the back bumper of the 54.
He's making a look to the inside. Drives it deep. I don't know if he was trying to slide it or not. Marinko said nope, and they almost made contact in the center, almost exited turn 2. 54 has the edge this time. Now what Marinko needs to do, is he gets contact here. Chad is roughing him up a little bit, trying to take that spot the hard way. But Brody needs to hold the second groove, put the 65 on the flat, make him not rotate that truck. He's allowing them to get to the second groove. That's not going to help his case. And he's only got a fender left to secure the 65. Yep, he forced his way in there. And just like that, he had access to the second groove. Clayton White makes almost a little contact, gets loose. They go back single file. Great save, Clayton. But Chad McGinley back to the front.
Yeah, made that pass, had to fight for it, though. Marinko is not giving it up easy. But you were 100% right. He left that center lane, that second groove open for the 65, and that's where he's been running. If he would have locked it out and made the 65 lock it down to that inside groove, it would have been much tougher and might not have been able to been completed by the 65. And right now you see the 54 changing his lane up now. Is the 14 of Clayton White trying to regain back what was lost off that contact there that got him loose.
Yeah, he's almost there. I think he's going to be able to pass Brody and put himself in second place. He just needs to keep the wheels underneath on that thing. He's getting loose off turn. Oh, 89's around.
Oh, Mantle!
Fifth caution. Here,
Oh!
sixth caution rather. Oh, more contact.
Oh, more!
Braking. Danny White, Shane Wheeldon. Forgot to lock it down here. It's the soft brake 200 for these two guys entering turn number 1. And we're going to go to the Nerd TV replay to take a look to see what happened here. It looks like he tried to make the pass on Bradley, and then something happened and made the contact.
Oh, man, yeah, he drove it in hard on that one there. He drove it in hard and then drifted up the track and then just made slight contact there on the left rear of the 46 of Brad Miner, and that just upset the weight in that truck, and around she went. And then we seen Danny White and Shane Wheeldon come in at the last minute there. And, yeah, you see it happening right there's the accident going on right now, and so they see it. They're on the brakes, and I don't know if maybe they thought it was going to clear up, but boink, boink. And that was all she wrote on that one there. I don't know, Jeremy. The only thing I can think of is maybe they thought that the 89 of Mantle was going to self-clear off of the top of the track and roll back down, so that high line was going to be open. But instead, the 89 of Bobby locked it down up there not to roll back into traffic to bring more people in, and just close that door up, and that door was never even opened.
Yeah, and as you were saying that, you saw the 41 there, Steven Smith, going to roll around the field and come back as the next truck on the lead lap, with 11 trucks in position for that now on this next restart. Seeing a couple takers in the back. Of course, the ones that were part of that wreck coming down pit road and a couple extra. There's your lucky dog also finding his way down to the pit road. Everybody else in the front half of the field elects to stay out. They didn't think it was enough for them to pit. If I were the 54, it's hard to give up seconds. I might have come down pit road knowing that the tire difference, and you could feel the difference. But passing is so hard here, Dustin, so that's probably a good call overall.
It is, and that's a tough call. Like you said, passing is so hard at this track. But, I mean, if I'm Brody right now, I mean, you've been out there on that set of tires longer than your race leader, so it's going to be a tall order to try to get past your race leader when you know that he's got 10 lap fresher tires than what you do. And I feel that if the 54, your second place truck, would have come down pit road, you might have had more takers on back further that would have done that. Could have locked Chad McGinley out there by himself with what he has right now, and everybody else has a fresh set of tires. But like you said, I mean, it's that you have to weigh it. You know, you're giving up that ever vital track position at these short tracks like that because passing is so tough. So it's like a flip of a coin, Jeremy. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't at that point in time. The only one that, was pretty much locked in on that one there was going to be the 65 McGinley. I don't expect to see him down pit road again the rest of tonight. He's got the track position. His tires aren't too bad, so he's pretty much, he's going to run what he's got right now, and that's pretty much it.
Yep, absolutely. Their pace truck lights are out. 1 to go, Dustin. So we're going to go restarting with 31 laps to go. Still a decent amount of tires on these trucks. We've not had too many green flag laps since most of these people have pitted. So these restarts are going to get a little more intense, and that's probably partly the reason why we're seeing these cautions spring up a little bit more and more. Just trying to give that extra inch on the track, a little extra percentage of effort, and, get your truck out of shape here and there doing so. But we're going to see what this restart looks like. Chad up front, of course, going to control it from the bottom lane. Great choice, 54. Brody Marinko second. Clayton White third. Bradley Minor fourth. Stephen Knight, after having that wreck, back to fifth place. Green flag is out. Great launch there by Chad. Clears Brody. Clayton White going to look not going to be able to make that stick, I don't believe, as the 54 is trying to take the second groove. Contact is had. They're going to go door to door here into 3.
Yeah, door to door into 3. More contact between these two. They're bouncing off each other, Jeremy. And remember, it was these two next to each other that got Clayton White out of sorts, where he had to gather it back up. And they're still racing hard side by side right now. Clayton's got the nose there, but Brody Marinko not giving it up. And right now, this is just allowing the 65 McGinley to just drive away even easier than what he intended. They're still kind of rubbing, Jeremy, as right now Clayton almost has him cleared. He just has to try to clear him here. Should have him cleared. Slides up in front. 14 of Clayton White up to P2. Brody Marinko falls back to third.
Yep, and a big gap there between first and second place. Clayton White's probably got this position on lock just because of the tire differential between the 54 and the 14.
Steve Knight got all out of sorts out of turn 4.
Yeah, he really did there. Good save. They're side by side, 76, 79. Great amount of space, little contact there from the 78 to the outside wall. And this is a strong battle here on track at the moment.
Yeah, and like I said, this battle right now is they finally all go single file there. That battle is just for outside the top 5, so these drivers are trying to get everything they can. Right now, your battle for 5th, depending on if they close up, it would be between the 12 of Joshua Slade and the 76 and Nick Boyd. As that battle looks like it's heating up. Nick Boyd trying to look to the inside, but Joshua Slade also trying to chase down the 46 of Brad Minor, and Steve Knight out of sorts again. Turn 4 has not been his friend the last 3 laps. And just to make matters worse and to add insult to injury, that slip-up cost him a position as the 78 of John Howard gets by him.
Yeah, I was kind of fearful for the 78. Just in case he had to be side by
and
side.
again!
See, this is why I was fearful. If John Howard had to be side by side with Steven Smith off turn 4 exit, who knows, maybe 78's done for the night. But thankfully, he cleared him before turn 3, went single file, and you saw Stephen Knight continuing to struggle in turn 4, which I notated as the problem corner here at Lorp. It's the same in turn 2 as far as the exit transition goes, but turn 4, for whatever reason, just does not have a grip in comparison.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's definitely been a trouble spot for a number of drivers, and right now, 76 and Nick Boyd does complete that pass on Joshua Slade. That puts Nick Boyd into the top 5. One of the ever vital stats that are kept and maintained by leagues. So right now, your top 5, McGinley leading the way. Clayton White in P2 right now, and he's got a good distance between himself and P3 of Brody Marinko. Those tires starting to catch up to Brody right now. And back behind them, you got a battle heating up for P4 between Brad Minor and Nick Boyd. Boyd on the inside of Minor, side by side. Through the corner right now, they come off at turn 4, back to single file.
One truck hit the wall. I think it might have been somewhere between 5th and 7th place, but looking at the 46, 76, this is for position here. This is for 4th and 5th. Your last 2 spots inside the top 5. Nick Boyd trying to do what he can, but right now the 46 and Minor has that preferred groove, able to clear him once more here. Next lap will signal 20 laps to go.
Yeah, as we are counting it down right now, Nick Boyd right in the wake of Brad Minor in that 46, trying to figure out how to get around him. You see Brad Minor goes, he just hovers between that 2nd and 3rd groove, so pretty much locks out a high line run and really makes that driver work for that bottom run there. So definitely a difficult way to pass. That's what we talked about. Catching a driver is one thing, passing him something else. 46 and Minor gets a little loose out of that corner there, but the 76 Nick Boyd not able to capitalize.
He's all over that back bumper. If there's another mistake made by Bradley, it is over between these two. As he goes down to the inside once more, drives it in deep, slides it up just a touch, has the nose advantage on turn 2. This might be what he needs going through turn 3. Drives it in deep, goes for a slide effort. Actually, the Bradley just really backed it down, recognized what was going to happen, and he's going to naturally give up that spot there to Nick.
Yeah, better to live to race another day than to, have damage done and knock you square out of the top 5 right now. At least right now you have a fighting chance on it. I mean, a fighting chance it is, as right now he is under attack from the 12 of, oh man, Wicked loose by the 12. That's Joshua Slade, but again, they're teammates. So they're gonna not, the intention's not to sit here and wreck or cause harm to anybody. So, but right now, Nick Boyd, he is setting sail for Brody Marinko, who's fallen way off pace from the 14 of Clayton White. Clayton White, right now, just kind of stuck. He can't track down the 65 of McGinley. So that's ever tough. But right now, racing just really spread out, Jeremy.
It really is here. And I'm going to do one last partner shout out before we hit the 10 to go mark here. iRacing, iFlag, and I've been working extra close with them, or at least you have been over the past several months working on Project X. And I don't know what you want to call it if it's actually able to be talked about. But either way, this current one, it's a light board system, 64 LEDs. It gives you up to 30 different iRacing notifications, whether it be the flags that fly on the track, whether it be car high, car low, meatball, whatever they give you. It displays on a really bright setup that you can put anywhere. Mount it to your sim rig, put it underneath your monitor like me, or just have it set up directly in front of your face if you don't want to see anything. But you can also dim the lights. You can make it dimmer, so you can have customization in that. And it's just a really cool product to complete your sim rig. So head yourself over to iRacingIFlag.com. Promotion code SuperNerd as always. It's going to save you 15%.
Yeah, excellent project, and yes, we will just dub it Project X right now, but I can guarantee you, Jeremy, it's going to be something that every driver is going to want, because it will complete that sim rig and make their job in the sim cockpit that much easier, so definitely going to be worth it. But yeah, go give them a check out right now. Right now, though, that battle's still heating up for that 5th place. Brad Miner still holding on to it, but Joshua Slade trying everything he can to get back into the top 5.
That he is right now. All over the 46 at the moment. 12 laps to go, 11 at the line. And Slade has been looser this entire race. Can he drive it to the inside and make the pass, or is it just not going to stick? We're going to figure that out here. Is 89 there, saying he washed up, had a little incident with someone, but it looks like coast is clear there. But it's weird to see the Bobby Mantle truck 9 laps down at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, that a lot of that was that damage that he ended up getting. You know, it wasn't only just the wall contact he had, but then the other trucks coming in and just adding to that damage meter there that put him down. But yeah, we don't usually see the 89 of Mantle that many laps down, and usually when we do, it's because of situations like this here. You know, it's tough, but I mean, this is the story of racing, and more so the story of short track racing. Sometimes it's your night, and sometimes it's not, and it definitely has not been Bobby Mantle's night tonight here at LORP.
I just say LORP because it's fun. I don't know if I want people to actually call it LORP. That just sounds
no, by all means, LORP it all up. It sounds very close to LARP, which is live action role play. We're nerds, so yeah, LORP it up.
There you go. You found a way to make it work for our perspective.
There you go.
Of course you do that. Your name's Dustin. Of course that's going to be how you're going to do it. 8 laps to go here. 7.5 really. So we got just a handful of laps here, and we're going to find out who's going to finish second, third place. Right now, I think it's going to be Clayton White and Brody Marinko. But Nick Boyd, heavy on the attack of the 54, giving it all.
Yeah, he went way low on that one. I think he had to chase the truck down, and he has a little wobble coming off of turn 2. He had been chasing down Marinko, and that's why the camera angle focused on that battle, because it was looking like it was going to be heating up pretty good. And that is for the final podium position. But right now, Marinko holding strong, trying to lock in that podium position there to have a chance to come up and talk with the nerds up here in the broadcast booth. But he's got to hold on to it for 6 more laps. But right now, they're all chasing that guy, Chad McGinley, who has dominated this race up to this point. And chasing that guy right there, Clayton White, who has bounced back, your biggest mover, up 11 spots, currently sitting P2 right now, just trying to hold on for 5 more laps.
All you gotta do, just over 2.5 miles left, and you're gonna find that checkered flag here for the hard-braking 200 for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. Oh, Nick Boyd, good thing you locked it down.
Talk about hard-braking.
Yeah, talk about hard-braking. Absolutely correct there. He almost cleanly swept the 54 off his feet and sent them to the outside wall. But now that's probably roasted the front tires. That might have been his last effort to pass Brody here.
Yeah, he's running out of opportunities, just like Joshua Slade's running out of opportunities. Brad Miner left the inside open there, but Slade was not able to capitalize, just does not have the drive off the corner. He loses rear grip so much on that and has to chase it up. You see that wobble in the truck, so definitely struggling. And if Slade is able to get by him, he's definitely going to have to work for it. It's going to be one of those. So we got 2 key battles going on right now. We got this one right here for P3 between Marinko and Boyd, and then we got the one for P5 between Miner and Slade. Those guys are duking it out right now. 2 laps to go.
Ooh, 12:46, hard at it here. Almost made contact entering turn number 1. Contact there behind them, John Howard in the 78. Not going to be a problem for the field, though, as we are at the line. 1 lap to go. Presented by Elevated Esports Racing, and we got one spinner right in front of these 2 here.
Well, that was a lap down car, and I think contact was made between the 25 and 54. The 54 is racing for position right now. Chad McGinley is your race winner. Clayton White finishes second. Looks like it's going to be Brody Marinko bringing it home, P3, and Brad Miner does lock it in for P5.
There it is, really close battle between Bradley Miner, Nick Boyd. But at the end of the day, Dustin, a very familiar face finds checkered flag for LORP, and that is Chad McGinley. And he's going to come around to the front stretch to do his burnout that he's well accustomed to doing. And he's going to drive around turn 3 and 4. We're going to leave the camera on for just a second, see what he's got. And then we'll go over the unofficial results. Waiting for his teammate, Mr. Mansell. There he is. And I guess we're going to see a team celebration. Let's see what they got in store here, Dustin. This is kind of a unique setup here.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. I think that was just a congratulatory bump there, as now McGinley's finally burning him down. Again, familiar sight as he puts another tally in the win column for this season of the Global Racing Truck Series. Your current points leader right now, still burning him down and sitting strong right now, Jeremy.
And as he does that, here's the unofficial results here for the hard-braking 200. Chad McGinley, P1, Clayton White, Brody Marinko, Nick Boyd, Bradley Miner. That is your top 5. 6th on back will be Joshua Slade, John Howard, Stephen Knight, Stephen Smith, who finishes 9th, and that is the last place truck on the lead lap. 10th on back, 1 lap down or more. That's Shane Wheeldon, Anthony Emmerich, Abram Ghostin, Danny White, Ron Harrington, Bobby Mantle, and the 2 DNFs for tonight, Jason Schilling and Austin McGill. And that's your 17 truck lineup here. Kicking it to our full screen commercial, gathering up the top 3. We'll be right back. Welcome everyone back to the Martin Sports Post Race Show. We got our top 3 gathered up here, and first we're going to start off with a new one of one motorsports driver, the 54 Brody Marinko. Welcome to the team and welcome to podium.
Thank you. It feels good. Honestly, I mean, I didn't think, but I kind of knew what we had going into the race. We had a good setup on the truck. Can't thank one of one motorsports enough for picking me up after Ghost left Global, but we've had a good truck all week, honestly. And just setup changing, setup adjusting is just all it took. And I'm a short track guy, so it feels good winning or not winning, but having a good race. It's a win for me, honestly, especially in this league.
Yeah, you come in here, you show off a great amount of speed. Joshua Slade, for one of one, has been carrying the torch for quite some time now. And then you show up and you just completely dominate your teammate. Was maybe the 12 of Joshua Slade asking you for tips around this place?
Nah, man. I mean, everyone has their forte, obviously. He's more of a big track guy. I'm more of a short track guy. That's just how it is, and um, that's what I like. I mean, I'm not as good at big tracks as he is, and that shows. But short tracks are my thing, and that's why I think I did very good.
Well, very good indeed there. I think if you had equal tires compared to Clayton and Chad, you might have had a contention for second or first if you were going to hold off Chad. But needless to say, though, third place, strong effort here at LORP, as we've been calling it. So, but floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Just thank you to one of one enough. Can't thank him enough for picking me up. And I think if we had the tire, we definitely had a second place truck, maybe even contended for the lead. We showed the speed, and we got it done in my book. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well done there, man. Go ahead and celebrate the rest of the night. We'll catch you next Sunday at Daytona.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. And that is Brody Marinko there in the 54. Now we got Clayton White in the 14 here, P2 this evening. Clayton, congratulations on second place.
Jay Stan, hey, thank you very much.
Hey, man. It's been a little bit since we've talked to you.
Quite a while.
Yes, sir. Well, maybe after tonight you get that momentum built up and we'll see more of you. Remember, Daytona's next week. That's always a wild card, but man, second place. I didn't really expect you to find second. We've seen a couple of drivers that were really good. I thought maybe at third place, but what was the difference to put you in P2 tonight?
Tires. I went in and I had about 20 lap fresher tires than Marienko there, and we had a good battle there. I just loosened my truck a little too much on that last adjustment, and I was dragging the rear, so it kept washing up, and we had a little door banging here and there, but we kept it clean for the most part, and ended up getting enough of a run to get by him, and then once I got by him, I could kind of arc it in a little different and help her through the corner.
Yeah, we noticed your truck was definitely a little loose for sure, and yeah, it looks like you made the adjustments correct to be able to find yourself in that second place finish there. Kind of walk us through the night. Not many trucks overall compared to what we're used to seeing. So, what did that play, do you think, as a factor in this race tonight?
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a caution fest, and compared to how some of the officials were this week, it was pretty brutal. So I think a lot of them just took the night off to save it for Daytona. But yeah, I mean, I started in the back because I thought it was going to be a little bit more cautions up front, but it didn't take me long to drive up through. So it actually felt pretty good. Premier Racing setups definitely helped me there. I built a really quality set and it just fits me well. And we had a good run up through there.
Well, that you did, man. Congratulations once more on P2. Who would you like to thank before we let you go?
I've got to thank the big boss, my wife out there who's watching. I know my dad tunes in. He watches as well, so say hello to him. And thank you guys for putting on the show and everybody in the Global League for some good racing, and hopefully it continues throughout the year.
Absolutely, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll catch you next Sunday at Daytona.
Alrighty, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. That was Clayton White in the 14, and now to load up victory lane once more for the number 65, Chad McGinley. Congratulations on the victory.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Fastest practice, fastest in qualifying, of course, fastest in the race overall. You won the thing. Little sweep there for the 3 sections of tonight's event. But how much practice did you put into tonight, and how much, or how'd that truck feel in the long run?
I put in a little bit of practice, not as much as usual. we've been running road to pro practice for IRP, and it's a totally different weather. So I've been trying to focus on that a little bit. So with about 20-degree difference, it was too much of a difference to really say anything, or do anything much of the same aspect. I had a lot more grip. So, but it felt good. The truck was good. Conti setup was fast, and tried building out a lead and getting out front and just staying out of the mess. Honestly, short track racing.
Yeah, absolutely. There now, for people who don't know what 20 degrees difference feels like, I saw you ran consistent in that second groove all day, no problem. That's how you saved your tires and got the job done. But what's that 20 degrees difference look like here, and what line do you have to run when it's different like that?
It's pretty similar. It's just you got to be a lot feathery on the on the throttle and the braking and stuff because it's a little slicker, so it's gonna slide a little bit more. But really, I haven't seen much of a difference of line. That little diamond works pretty well, so not sure the high line's gonna work, but maybe long run it might be able to go a little bit higher. But I'm not sure. We'll see how Thursday goes out. That's for sure.
You 10-4 on that, man. Well, keep it up there on the road to pro stuff. I know you're worthy of it. Just hopefully we can see you pull out some awesome finishes, and to tell us and everyone watching here on Sundays a victory here soon, maybe. But floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go tonight.
Appreciate the Grim Reaper guys putting in their time and effort this week. I mean, I wasn't there as much as usual, so Bobby took to control. So I appreciate Bobby and you guys running the laps. Didn't have Holmesy tonight. He's still dealing with a little minor injury. So I hope you feel better, bud. Also thank you to you guys for putting on a great show as always. I love watching the show or the race afterwards and just seeing what I could have done better, could have done different, or anything like that. So I appreciate Global Racing Truck League as well because they put on a hell of a show and doing pretty good this year. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, man. Well, congrats once more, and Daytona next week, wild card event. But get prepared for that, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. That was Chad McGillian, the 65, carrying the torch for Grim Reaper here, and Dustin. Good race overall.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened to your audio, but it just got super light.
You're welcome. Am I back?
No. What in the world? Unless I just turned down my headset. Heck, maybe I just did that.
I
don't know. But no, overall, I can't even find the volume on this thing.
Close it out.
There it is. Yep, I did.
Hey.
Not only that, I just realized too that from last week when I did the show solo, you don't even have your name down below you. I guess I have that all shut off.
My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Nameless.
Nameless.
Here this evening.
But no, it's I said, I mean, LORP is and yes, it's forever going to be known as LORP. It's a hard track. It's definitely a driver's track. It's a rhythm track more than anything. Like you have to get in your rhythm. And if you go back and watch this on VOD, video on demand, I mean, you'll see a lot of the drivers where they were having issues as they were getting out of that rhythm. So that's the toughest thing. You've seen passing is tough, but this was a race. It played out exactly how I would expect a race at this facility to play out and how they've played out in the past. I do know that officials have been pretty rough this week, and that's a huge understatement. I know it is. But this race actually wasn't bad. I know it probably had a few more cautions than what the league drivers or the admins wanted, but I mean, a number of the cautions were just drivers getting loose. I mean, we really didn't see that many car or multi-truck, accidents come out. I think the biggest one was the one with Bobby Mantle that collected Danny White and Shane Weldon on that one, and then I think the other one was right off the start that collected a little bit of Nick Boyd and Austin McGill, and that's eventually what played a part in Austin parking it. I mean, I think those were the only two big ones that really involved a lot of trucks, so out of 200 laps, and you got two incidents that were like that, the rest were just kind of single car. I mean, that's a pretty solid run, so especially for a short track and as tough as this is to drive, I think the drivers in the league did an excellent job tonight.
Oh, 100% there. And you heard the appraisal in the post-race interviews there. So all's well. Hopefully we get our numbers back up. Daytona would be kind of lackluster if we had 17 trucks. So hopefully everyone returns next week as we go 2.5 miles at my hometown track here for the NASCAR circuit at Daytona. So, but we're going to close this thing out here. Scott Martin's going to take it away. Thank our sponsors one last time. And you guys, we'll catch you on Tuesday for the RSR Next Generation Cup Series. You guys stay safe and always get your nerd on.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com.
Back when nothing truly mattered.